this is the first window I put in, and it was unreal the difference it made to have that one little window. And then I did the bedroom windows, and that was something else. And just to have all this light coming in is pretty nuts. And I'll be able to clean all of these up with some window sills and some frames, and then I'm going to order glass and put in windows everywhere. What? Oh, I got to cut out this door over here. I figured I'd just do this all in one day, so I framed this in so it's ready. I just got to cut it out, put in the bolts, put on the straps to hang it, and then cut out a hole for its window. And that's the one that goes out to the pergola, to the outdoor kitchen. I just kind of put it up there and tried to trace it. Okay. Stay. Stay.
Do you know how deep it is? I go, it's pretty far. No, here, we'll show you.
Matt, how you doing up there?
Caroline, the leak isn't from the attorney's office or the FBI. It's from us, Caroline. Martians.
Alright, how did you get to that?
What you doing, buddy? It's 75 degrees out there right now. It's supposed to get up to 85 today. Perfectly comfortable in here. I've only got one air conditioning unit running right now. All of these windows are wrapped in greenhouse plastic. That's it. The first 1, 2, 3 windows I did with just one ply of, I think it was six ply plastic. And then all these new windows, the 6 ply plastic I have comes wrapped up in like 3 or 4 layers, and so I just cut it thick like that. So it's like 48 ply now. So it's like 4 layers, and that's even better. But just for those who've never thought of it, you can put greenhouse plastic up where your windows are going to go, and the air conditioning's still going to work. You know, what I did, this is what matters the most, is making sure there's no air transfer from outside to inside. And so you got to use the foam and seal it. That's all you got to do. And then I can account for, I'm going to put in a window sill, you know, and then the jacks on the side and a header. And so that will clean up the look of it. And then with that in, I can account for that extra wood and measure the glass. And I can go around and do that to all the windows, then order all my glass. And then I'll just set the glass in and put in a frame, and that'll be that, just like any other window. And then cut a nice frame around the edge, and they'll look perfectly good. And down the road, if I want to, I can put in another pane and have, you know, more insulation. But those windows alone are going to be far better insulation than the plastic. Oh, and so all that foam will get removed along the way. It's just that way these just aren't allowing air to exchange. And so the other thing is, there's only one window on the entire south side of the cabin, and it's just this little window in my room, and so it doesn't even get that much direct sun. And this window in my bedroom that's on the west side, that actually gets a lot more sun than any window. Because as the sun sets, then it starts to hit that window a little bit. And this morning, you know, the sun comes blazing through that one for a while, and it's blazing through these until about 6:30, and then it's up over the awning, you know, that covers the deck. So, you know, of course I'll put some curtains in and whatever, but the point is my main concern is it can get pretty hot. And so if you have a ton of huge windows just cooking your building, I think that is more difficult to compete with than heating the place in the winter. Because some people suggest, hey, you should just load the south side with windows and then it'll heat your place in the winter time. And they're right, it'd get cooking in there in the winter, but it would get cooking in there in the summer too. And so I prefer to have it this way, where I get some in the morning, which is the most important part, because it's 50 degrees all summer anyway in the morning, damn near, you know. So that warms it up for a little bit in the morning, and then during the hottest part of the day, it's mostly in the shade over here. And then, you know, my Reflectix insulation it's very efficient at reflecting the heat that's baking in. It reflects it away, and it's been easy to keep the place comfortably cool. And then I haven't even had this other system running. I think what happened when I installed it, I didn't torque it. I guessed to the best of my ability, I thought, and I think it leaked. So I'm going to have to look into fixing that. But I think the one can handle it. But on a day that's 100 degrees, you might kick on too and be really comfortable no matter what. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of a rundown, because I know that people are going to say, you know, people will have their opinions, good, bad, you know, about the windows. And so I just wanted to kind of give you an understanding of why I did the windows the way that I did. And you know, I know somebody already commented that that's a unique placement for a window. So why would I do that? Well, it's because you need to have a header, a sill, and jacks for a window. And so the headers, you see, the headers match all the way around. So from the outside, you look at it and you're like, oh wow, those windows are all lined up perfectly. And that's the largest consideration in a window, in my opinion, is the headers should pretty well be the same all the way around. So the header for that window is actually the same as the header for the door as well. So this door window will be just a little bit down because it has to be to fit in the door. But otherwise, every single window lines up to the header. Even on the south side here, even though it's lower, it uses that header. That's why the windows are as high as they are. And then, you know, you put in your jacks. I couldn't have put that window anywhere else and still been on that header at that height. And so that's the main consideration. And then also just having all these furthest from the south side of the building is really good, in my opinion. I don't want to be cooking this place up. I have a pretty good understanding of my climate and what would work well for my cabin, and that's what I did. And so then again, you know, this one just lines up there. It's just centered exactly below that one. And that's a good window to have that's open to the entire homestead. These ones, you know, you can just slide curtains over them in the morning so you're not blinded. Oh, and then they're all 36 inches, which makes them easy for egress, you know, to open the window and climb out onto the roof or something if you had to. And yeah, and so I'm just going to finish them. They're not finished right now, so they might look really rough. In fact, they do. But I'll put sills and the sides and wrap them and put a frame around them. And basically the glass will go in. And there'll just be caulk that prevents rain from coming in for the most part. And then, you know, there's a little wood strip frame. Just going to frame them in like you would with wood, like old-fashioned wood windows. I might make them slide, or I might make them just hinge out. We'll see what I do when I get there.